Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ava and today I'm going to be sharing my 2023 concert recap. So I went to 15 concerts in 2023, which was my goal, and I went to at least one concert for almost every month. On January 26th, I saw Harry Styles at the Forum. This concert was actually postponed from November of 2022, so I was really looking forward to it because I broke down crying the day that it was postponed. And this was also my first time in the pit at a Harry concert, which honestly was not too exciting. I think I expected a lot out of it because I had seen like all of these influencers talking about like being barricade at every Harry Styles concert, but that just wasn't my experience. Obviously I wasn't barricade. Got there at like 5 p.m. and was like in the middle of the pit, and the times that he was on my side of the stage was great, but the times that he wasn't and he was on the opposite side, I couldn't see him, so I kind of felt like I missed out on a lot of the show. But obviously, if you've seen him perform, he is a great performer. I love his concerts so much. And yeah, I'm just really glad that I got to experience a concert of his in the pit, but I do still prefer sitting in the seats rather than standing in the pit. The next concert was also Harry Styles. I saw him on February 1st, which was his birthday, at the Acrisure Arena in Palm Springs. I think the only downside of this concert was that I had to drive further to get there. Obviously, like that was my choice to go. The parking situation was kind of a nightmare. I parked at like a secondary parking lot and I had to take a bus to the venue, which ran really smoothly on the way there, but getting back to our cars after the concert was a mess, and I waited probably over an hour to get back on the bus to go to my car. But I really liked this arena. I didn't get much time to explore the inside of it because I was waiting outside in the lines to take pictures at the little photo ops that they had. But I had a really great view from my seat, and I'm really glad that I got to see him in this sort of smaller and more intimate venue. Again, it's Harry. He puts on an amazing show. Not to mention his outfit was chef's kiss. I loved it. On March 21st, I went to see Nessa Barrett at the Fonda. This was my second time seeing her, and I love watching her perform, but I will say that her crowds are always really mid and full of just like rude people. And I've had this experience at every concert that I've been to of hers. I've been to 3 Nessa Barrett concerts, and each time I don't have the greatest experience in the crowd. But again, I love watching her perform, so I do choose to keep going. This was my first time at the Fonda, and I really enjoyed it. It might be one of my favorite venues in LA that I've been to. And I love that they have a balcony and a floor because it's not too crowded. And then the week after, on March 29th, I saw Gracie Abrams at the Fonda as well. For Nessa, I had balcony tickets, and then for Gracie, I had floor tickets. So at the Fonda, what I like is that on the floor they have like ramps on the side, so it's not just like a straight floor, and that's where I was standing, so I had a pretty good view of her. This was my first time seeing Gracie, and it was life-changing. She is an amazing performer. Her voice is even better in person, and I don't even know how that happens, but it just is. One thing I vividly remember from seeing Gracie perform is that her microphone was extremely loud, and you could really hear her vocals, and it was just insane. I feel like a lot of times the performer's mic isn't as loud as it could be, so I like that I could really hear Gracie perform throughout the entire set. I did not go to a concert in April, but on May 19th, I saw Niall Horan perform at the iHeartRadio Theater, which was his album release party. Basically, me and my cousin had won tickets to go see him, and we had no idea what it was. It said it was like a secret show, and we were just gonna show up, and like, we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. And when we get there, I just remember seeing a sign that said Niall Horan album release party, and I was like, no way this is happening to us right now. It was such an intimate venue. Maybe like 200, 300 people were in there, and it turned out to be like a little interview, and then he played like half of his new album for us, which was so crazy. I still can't believe it, and it's been like almost a year. We did not get to take our phones in though because it was like a private event, so I don't have any videos from that night, but I have those memories like embedded into my soul, and I just like remember we were in there. He was so close to us. I swear he looked me in the eye at one point, and I was like, I'm literally going to like pass out and die right now because I just couldn't handle that. And then he proceeds to go on and play Story of My Life, and I kid you not, I fell to the floor and immediately started sobbing, and like the security next to me was just like laughing at me, watching me literally sob, like laying on the fucking floor sobbing. I just like can't believe that I experienced that, and I will never, like, nothing's ever going to beat that moment for me. The next person I saw on June 30th was Louis Tomlinson at the Hollywood Bowl. I'm not the biggest fan of the Hollywood Bowl venue. The view is never that great at the Hollywood Bowl. They have small screens, so you kind of can't really see what's going on. But this was my second time seeing Louis perform as a solo artist, and I think he's an amazing performer as well. I didn't fully know the set list, but listening to him perform was just great. He also played Where Do Broken Hearts Go by One Direction, and I just fully sat there and soaked it in, and it was such a special moment. On July 12th, I was also at the Hollywood Bowl, but I do not know who I saw. I went with like my parents, and I literally have no idea who that was. I have like one video, maybe one picture of it. I think like halfway through in like the middle of the concert, it felt like he was doing like a church service, which was very strange. On August 3rd, I saw Taylor Swift perform at SoFi Stadium, and that night was literally life-changing. That was my first time seeing Taylor, and I had nosebleed seats, which was still a great view, especially with the screens. I literally had like full body chills the whole time, and I just couldn't stop smiling. And I will never forget this night. I can still feel like the energy in my bones whenever I think about it. It was just so crazy. Like the crowd, just everything about it was fantastic. And my surprise songs that night were I Can See You and Maroon. I also saw Taylor again 4 days later on August 7th at SoFi Stadium, but this time I had front row 100 section seats, and being able to see that show from two completely different views, you know, I saw it from the nosebleeds and now I was like front row, was so bizarre. Another thing about those shows is that Gracie Abrams opened for both of them, so I got to see her perform in a stadium twice. And my surprise songs that night were Dress and Exile, and No, I Will Never Shut Up About That. On September 14th, I saw 5 Seconds of Summer at the Forum. If I'm honest, I don't remember much about this concert, other than the fact that I did not know the whole set list, but they are great performers. I love how like quirky they are. I don't know, they're just a fun time. They're just a fun band to watch and go see perform. They also had this fun thing on their tour where they had like an inflatable dice and the crowd got to roll it and essentially pick which surprise song they had to play. I don't remember which song that we got, so sorry about that. I will try to find out. On October 4th, I saw Tate McRae at the Hollywood Palladium. This was my first time seeing Tate live. I've been a huge fan of her for the longest time. I used to be a dancer, so I used to watch her dance videos all the time. I really enjoyed watching her perform, but I was a little disappointed that this tour wasn't as much of a production as her tours usually are. If you follow Tate, you know she always has backup dancers and it's like this whole performance, and that was not what this tour specifically was. So I kind of missed out on that, but she still hit the mark. She's a great performer. On October 9th, I saw Olivia Rodrigo perform at the theater in the Ace Hotel. This was an acoustic show and the tickets went on sale the day before. The venue was really nice inside. The only downside was that since it's a theater, it didn't have screens, so I couldn't really see her unless I was like on the edge of my seat. That was also my first time going to an acoustic show, and I had a lot of fun. I think that they are a lot more relaxed, so you get to enjoy it a little bit more. One thing that I found funny about this night was that the crowd didn't really know if we were supposed to stand up or sit down. A few times during the show when she was doing more like uplifting songs, she would be like, you guys can stand up, and we would all stand up and just sing along. But yeah, I love seeing her perform. Great performer. Can't wait for Guts tour to happen. On November 10th, I saw Nessa Barrett again at the House of Blues in Anaheim. I did not really like this venue. I think that it was very overcrowded. Again, her crowds not the best, but I appreciate watching her perform, and she did so good. This night there were also a lot of times that she had to stop because people were passing out or people needed water. So having that experience at a concert is never the best because artists are constantly stopping in the middle of their songs and then usually not going back to repeat them. So one of my favorite songs got cut short, which was really annoying because she didn't go back and replay it. But again, I do love seeing her perform and I'm always going to support her. And then the day after, on November 11th, I saw Queen with Adam Lambert at the BMO Stadium. And if I were to rank all these concerts, this one would kind of be lower on my list. I love Queen and I got to hear some of my favorite songs that night. But I think that there was definitely something wrong with the speakers. And at concerts, I use earbuds to protect my ears because obviously it's really loud. And usually when I'm using earbuds, I can tell where the main source of sound is coming from. And it was only coming from the main stage, even though they had like the tall speakers going out into the crowd, like further back. And I couldn't hear anything coming from those speakers. But yeah, you couldn't really hear that great, and the venue was just okay. I didn't really have any problems with it. And then the last concert was actually on my birthday. So on December 1st, I went to the Kiss FM Jingle Ball at the Forum. The artists that I went to see personally were Miguel, Flo Rida, Sabrina Carpenter, Niall Horan, and Olivia Rodrigo. This was honestly, hands down, one of the best times that I have ever had at a concert. This was my first time at Jingle Ball, so I had never experienced that before. This was, I kid you not, like a 5-hour event. The music started at like 7 o'clock, and then we didn't get out of there until 12. I like to joke that Flo Rida's performance that night changed my life. Me and my cousin were literally shaking our ass in the nosebleeds, dancing. That night, for some reason, just felt like a total out-of-body experience. And we also got to hear Sabrina Carpenter sing a few of her songs off of Fruitcake, which is her Christmas album. And when Olivia sang Can't Catch Me Now from the Hunger Games movie was so crazy. Literally fell to my knees and screamed. I couldn't believe that she was playing that. But this was definitely a great way to end my full year of concerts. So unfortunately, that is the end of my 2023 concert recap. I had the most incredible time this past year going to all of these concerts, and I'm so grateful for every experience and all the people that I met at these concerts. It was truly just so fun and exciting to have these experiences. Overall, if I could pick like my top 3 concerts from this past year, I would probably say seeing Taylor on August 3rd would be my first. Second, I would also probably say Taylor Swift on August 7th. And third, I would say Jingle Ball was definitely up there. So that was my 2023 concert recap. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because I'm hoping to post a lot more frequently on here. If you have any video recommendations for me, please let me know in the comments, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye guys! We did it!